Poland, a land full of history, culture, and natural beauty. From the tall Tatra Mountains to the old streets of medieval towns, Poland surprises visitors with lots of different experiences. Come with us on an amazing trip through Poland, seeing it all in stunning 4K. We'll walk through busy city squares, look at amazing buildings, and learn about this strong nation. Get ready to explore the charming old town of Krakow, where horse-drawn carriages ride on cobblestones and the feeling of the past is still in the air. We'll explore the grand Wawel Castle, see the serious Auschwitz-Birkenau, and feel the energy of modern Poland in Warsaw. But Poland also has beautiful nature. We'll visit the peaceful Masurian Lake District full of sparkling water and green forests. We'll hike through the old Bialowieza Forest, home to the big European bison, and see the fairy tale magic of Malbork Castle, a symbol of Poland's medieval power. So get your backpack ready, get your adventurous spirit, and let's discover the amazing treasures of Poland together. Our Polish adventure starts in Krakow, the historical heart of the country. Krakow is best explored by walking. As we walk through the market square, the biggest medieval square in Europe, we see and hear lots of things. Street musicians play happy folk music and colorful flower stalls make the scene bright. In the middle of the square is the magnificent St. Mary's Basilica with its tall towers. Go inside to see the beautiful altarpiece, a masterpiece of Gothic art. Close to the square is Wawel Castle, sitting on a hill overlooking the Vistula River. Polish kings and queens lived here for many years and its history is as interesting as its architecture. Make sure to see the royal chambers, which are very fancy and take you back in time. And don't miss Wawel Cathedral, where Polish kings and queens were crowned and buried. As the sun sets, making the city glow, we go to Kazimierz, Krakow's old Jewish quarter. Here, time seems to stop as we walk through narrow streets with synagogues, cafes, and antique shops. This neighborhood, once a busy center of Jewish life, is now full of art, music, and culture. As we eat a traditional Polish meal in a cozy Kazimierz restaurant, we love Krakow's mix of history, culture, and energy. Our trip continues north to Warsaw, Poland's exciting capital city. Warsaw is a city of differences where modern skyscrapers stand next to rebuilt old town buildings. This mix of old and new shows Warsaw's strong spirit. A city that was destroyed by war but is now a thriving city. We start in Warsaw's Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that shows the city's strength. Here, colorful houses line cobblestone streets with lots of detail. We walk through the Old Town Market Square, a busy place with cafes, restaurants and shops selling traditional Polish crafts. A short walk from the square is the Royal Castle, once home to Polish royalty and now a beautiful museum showing the country's history and art. Inside the castle's fancy rooms, we feel like we're back in a time of royal parties. You can't visit Warsaw without remembering Frédéric Chopin, Poland's famous composer. We go to Łazienki Park, a peaceful place in the city where we find the Chopin Monument. As we listen to Chopin's music in the park, we remember the power of art and culture. Our Polish adventure now takes us to Gdansk, a cool port city on the Baltic Sea. Gdansk has a lot of sea history, where the salty sea air mixes with the smell of coffee. As we walk through the city's historic center, we see the colorful, tall, narrow houses. These buildings, many from the Hanseatic League era, show Gdansk's rich past as a trading center. We walk along Długi Targ, or Long Market, and look at the beautiful Golden House and the Green Gate. Don't miss St. Mary's Church, one of the biggest brick churches in the world. We climb the 400 steps to the top of the church tower to see the city and the Baltic Sea. Gdansk is also famous for its amber, beautiful, fossilized tree resin. We look at the amber jewelry and decorations on Mariacka Street. As the sun sets over the Motlawa River, making the city glow, we celebrate Gdansk, a city that mixes history, culture, and sea charm. Chapter 4. Zakopane. Touching the sky in the Tatras. From the Baltic coast, we go south to Zakopane, in the Tatra Mountains. Zakopane is Poland's best mountain resort town where hikers, skiers, and nature lovers go to relax. When we arrive in Zakopane, we see the amazing views. Tall mountains covered in green forests rise above the town, their snowy tops shining in the sun. We take the Gubaloka Hill funicular to the top of Gubaloka Mountain for amazing views of the Tatra Mountains and the valleys. For adventurous people, hiking to Morskie Oko Lake in the Tatra National Park is an amazing experience. This beautiful glacial lake surrounded by tall peaks is a wonderful sight. Back in town, we walk along Krupuki Street, Zakopane's busy pedestrian street with traditional wooden houses, shops, and restaurants. As we eat pierogi, traditional Polish dumplings, we enjoy this charming mountain town. Chapter 5. Wieliczka, Journey to the Center of the Salt. Our Polish adventure goes underground into the Wieliczka Salt Mine, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Near Krakow, the Wieliczka Salt Mine shows human skill and artistry. For many years, miners worked in this underground world, getting salt and making tunnels, chambers and chapels all made of salt. As we go deeper into the mine, the air gets cooler and wetter, and we feel amazed. We look at the salt sculptures, chandeliers, and even a copy of Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, all made of salt. One of the most amazing sights is the Chapel of St. Kinga, a big underground cathedral with salt crystal chandeliers and a salt altar. The chapel's acoustics are great and we hear a beautiful choir performance. As we go back up to the surface, we are amazed by this underground world. The Wieliczka Salt Mine is more than just a mine. It shows human creativity and Polish history and culture. Chapter 6. Auschwitz-Birkenau, a sad reminder of history's darkest chapter. Our trip through Poland becomes sad as we arrive at Auschwitz-Birkenau, a symbol of the Holocaust. At the gates of Auschwitz, with the words Arbeit macht frei, work sets you free, above, we feel very sad. This former Nazi concentration camp reminds us of the terrible things that happened during World War II. As we walk through the camp with a historian, we learn about the more than 1 million people who were killed here, mostly Jews, but also Poles, Roma, Soviet prisoners of war, and others. We see the barracks where prisoners lived, the gas chambers where many people were killed, and the crematoria. It's hard to understand how terrible it was, and it makes us very sad. Visiting Auschwitz-Birkenau is a very emotional experience, reminding us how important peace, tolerance, and understanding are. It's a place that makes us remember the past, honor the victims, and fight against hate.